The Deribit Block RFQ feature allows traders to request and execute block trades directly on the Deribit platform. For those not already aware, RFQ stands for Request for Quote, and a block trade is a trade arranged between two parties that is executed directly between the two accounts, without hitting the public order books. The new interface is open to all clients, however block trades are subject to larger minimum trade sizes, so it is a feature mainly aimed at clients who trade larger size. To navigate to the Block RFQ interface, go to the Strategy menu at the top of the page, then click Block RFQ. On this page you will find the Block RFQ components already in place, but I have also added the Positions table at the bottom. To add any component you like to the layout, just click Add Component. To begin, press Create RFQ. This will bring up the Strategy Creation form. This is where we build the structures we want to quote for. There are many recognized structures, but it's also possible to build a custom structure that contains up to 20 legs. One benefit of using the predefined structure buttons, though, is that they populate the form with the required legs for that structure. As I click through a few different structures here, you'll notice the legs for that structure being added to the form below. For this example, let's create a block RFQ for a bull call spread. Vertical spreads, as they're sometimes known, can be created by clicking Option Spread. As soon as the Option Spread button is clicked, it populates the form with the required two legs, with one a buy and one a sell. By default it's set to use calls, but this can easily be changed to puts with the toggle. Next up, select the expiry, then the desired strikes. Here I've selected the expiry of the 28th of March, and strikes of 95 and 100k. A hedge leg can also be added if desired. A hedge leg uses either the perpetual or a dated future to hedge the main structure. This would typically be used to hedge the initial delta of an option structure, for example. In this case, I don't need a hedge leg though, so let's remove the hedge. At the bottom of the page is the amount field. Notice that the minimum shown for this structure is 12.5. The minimum number of contracts for a Bitcoin block trade is actually 25, but because two options are being traded, this means the minimum per leg is half that amount, or 12.5. So I'll enter a quantity of 12.5, and once the amount has been entered, the expected Greeks of the position are shown, as well as the current mark price of this structure. On the right is a list of the available market makers. It is possible to send the RFQ to only a selection of the market makers, but in most cases it will make the most sense to send the RFQ to all makers, and this is indeed the default setting. There is one last decision to make, and that is whether to disclose my identity to the makers. This is optional, but if I disclose my identity to the makers, I will in turn be able to see the identity of the maker who provides the best quote, and in any resulting trades. As it relates to the anonymity feature, it's worth mentioning quickly now that there is also a taker rating system. The basic premise is that takers are given a score that indicates how often they actually trade when submitting RFQs. The purpose of the rating system is to discourage abusive behavior, such as price fishing. If a maker sees that a taker almost never trades when they send an RFQ, they may decide not to offer them a good quote, or maybe not quote at all. For this example, I will disclose my identity to the makers. I'm happy with all the parameters, so I click Submit RFQ. And then I can check the details on the confirmation screen, and click Confirm to send the RFQ to the makers. The RFQ will then appear in my RFQ list, and after a few seconds, the best bid and ask will appear. They will then update in real time. Only one bid and one ask is shown at once, but these will always be the best available price, and they could be from different makers, or indeed from the multi-maker model. There are one-click trade buttons for those wanting to execute as fast as possible. Alternatively, clicking somewhere else on the RFQ will trigger a pop-up with more information. For this example, I want to execute a bull call spread, which means I want to buy this structure. If I wanted to sell instead, I would click the bid and then sell into it. As I want to buy though, I click the ask and buy into it. To avoid confusion, the direction of each leg is always indicated under the buy or sell button. I'm happy with the price, so I click the button to execute. All legs are executed together immediately for the agreed price, and can be seen in the positions table. Although all the legs of a block trade are executed in a single order, the resulting positions are still shown independently after the execution. We can see all of the legs in the position table here. So traders are free to trade the legs together again via another block RFQ, or individually if they prefer. In other words, even though all of these positions were open together via a block RFQ, the individual legs are not linked together after the initial execution. I could, for example, go to the option chain and close just one of the legs. So let's say I get more bullish on Bitcoin after I've executed the bull call spread and I want to buy back the short leg. I can go to the option chain, open up the 100k strike that I'm currently short, and then buy back the calls. I've now turned the bull call spread into a simple long call position. Now I'm on a different page, this would be a good time to highlight the new Block RFQ widget. This new widget can be enabled in the cogwheel settings menu and offers a handy way to keep track of your RFQs while navigating the rest of the website. The widget hovers above the interface and can be moved anywhere on the page. It includes a list of RFQs and a button to quickly navigate back to the main Block RFQ page. Deribit Block RFQs are available via this page in the user interface, on the mobile app, and via the API. They offer a superior way for traders to execute larger trades without worrying about slippage, leg risk, partial fills, or delays. For more information, including how the multi-maker system works, check out the knowledge base and the Insights blog post on the subject.